who's not wearing their seatbelt? Jim. Safety first.
So, we are our special guest today in our blog, Cool Car, No Boundaries, is Eric Brant from the Chicago Street Theater. Eric, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Jim.
So we have a great opportunity.
Pipe down, Justin.
I'm sorry. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
So, tell us a little bit about the Chicago Street Theater. It's got a storied history.
We do. We've got, this is our 64th year in the community. It was established in 1955 by a group of teachers and educators who wanted to kind of put on a play. And I think maybe one of the first performances we ever did was at, I think it's where Ben Franklin Middle School is now. From there, we helped save the Opera House. It was in disrepair right after we got in, and then we spent 40 years there, and now we've been at our own Chicago Street Theater, which we landed at in 1998. So we've been there 20 years now.
Now, you pride yourselves in never having lost that artistic edge. Tell us a little bit about what makes you different at the Chicago Street Theater compared to, say, going to the theater in Chicago or Indy.
Well, I think one of the things that we have as a huge advantage is we have a lot of really, really talented people from Northwest Indiana. And I think that's really allowed us to kind of keep the quality high. I think when people come to Chicago Street, one of the reasons I was really happy we landed at a building on Chicago Street was it kind of gave us an urban flair. And during our time away when we first left the Opera House, we were in this little tiny 40-seat alley studio theater. And I think it gave us an appreciation for doing shows that were more of an edgy or, kind of a challenging nature. And I think that intimacy and being able to kind of do theater that was in people's face was like a really good thing for us.
Now let's talk a little bit about In Your Face, because it's my understanding that you have a live performance coming up that has a splash zone. What is a splash zone?
It is our first ever splash zone, but we have some actors who are a little juicy sometimes, so they do spray when they do scenes. But the play is Evil Dead the Musical.
Okay.
It takes the cult. It takes the cult movies by Sam Raimi and adds kind of a hokiness or a silliness of music to it, but it still pays homage to that over-the-top, hyperkinetic, weird, quirky humor of the Sam Raimi films.
So it's engaging.
It's very engaging. It's is the Northwest Indiana premiere of this show, and it has a splash pad because when people think Evil Dead, they think buckets of blood. So, our first 3 rows are all covered in Visqueen for this show. And that's the first time we've ever done that. But we're a group that takes risks like that and does things that, other theater groups aren't doing.
It sounds like you keep people guessing.
We do. And we do have kind of a formula of when we run certain types of shows, but just the opportunity to do Evil Dead the Musical, and no one else is doing it, and it's got chainsaws and demonic possession and all kinds of fun things. It is not for people under 17 or more sensitive viewers, so we're gonna have a lot of fun with that. We have our fundraising event coming up with Sven Gulli, and that's been sold out for a couple of weeks now.
And you also have some Christmas specials, including some music.
Yeah, we're doing. Aside from doing something that's of kind of a cult classic nature like Evil Dead, we're also doing something that's, known and beloved by everybody for over 50 years, which is a Charlie Brown Christmas.
There you go.
We're doing a live version of the Christmas special that kind of put the Peanuts on the map.
So the ideal night, and this is obviously a vehicle that I think that anybody could have fun, whether it's date night or out with the kids, taking them to school. And you're doing a collaboration with Dave Rogers at Grieger's and Carlos from Don Quixote.
Yes.
Where you're putting together a fundraiser for Pink Ribbon, and it's a dinner and a theater night.
Dinner and a show. Yes.
So, how do you envision somebody spending that night in this vehicle?
Well, I'm hoping they bring this out to it. We've got ample parking around our building, and we also have a partnership with the fine folks over at Trinity Lutheran. They let us get some overspill, but we certainly have a lot of great shows coming up this season that people should check out. If you don't want to get splattered, don't come see Evil Dead, but there's plenty of shows. I think one of the things that we really pride ourselves on is being able to do family productions, and then we have certain shows that aren't for kids, so that is a great date night for
a lot of diversity.
Yes, and usually when you do things that are more of a challenging or cutting edge nature, it gives you a lot to discuss after the show. And one of the great things about like our partnership with Carlos is a number of the downtown restaurants here we are dining partners with. So if people subscribe to Chicago Street Theater, they can get a 10% card.
And as we're driving by the park, the downtown Central Park, you do a lot of collaborations. But this is a downtown that loves its culture, it loves its theater, but it also loves helping people. And I noticed that one of the things that seems to differentiate you is you could technically say you are a cause, yet you as a theater like to give back. We're very much, we're a 501c3 not-for-profit organization, but we do a lot of donating of tickets because it's something that we have to offer people. So we do a lot of auction baskets, we do a lot of charitable work that way because that is something that we can give. We have volunteers that give time, and for us to be able to connect somebody with theater that might not otherwise see it, whether they purchase, they bid on an auction item at the Pink Ribbon event, or if they come see us in the park when we're doing the free performances of a Shakespeare play. Our mission is really about connecting audiences and artists.